Oh, we are live! How are we, lads? Come on, the footy! The footy spot! Guys, subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! The Cowboys win it! Woo! Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm Nick from Australia. Welcome to another live stream. We're going to start getting into the international footy now that the NRL season's over, the grand final's over. Obviously, my rankings videos will be coming out in the coming days as well. But tonight, I want to focus on a little bit of international rugby league. We've got the Rugby League World Cup coming up in a couple of weeks. Cannot wait for it to begin. And tonight, we're going to talk about the Australian Kangaroos squad that has been released, I believe, what was it, this afternoon? I think it was released, or yesterday. I can't remember what day it was released. I can't keep up. And I'm going to give my thoughts on the squad, and I'm also going to give you guys my best 1 to 17 from the squad. And to help me give a bit of a review on the Australian Kangaroos squad, bit of a reaction, it is the great Warriors NRL Fanatics. Warriors NRL Fanatics, bro, thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on tonight's review. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for the invite, and looking forward to getting into the Australian Kangaroo squad, which I believe is a pretty strong squad. But yeah, looking forward to getting into it.
Mate, you look pumped for the World Cup. Seriously, you look excited. You look like it's going to be the greatest thing ever, bro. Honestly, I have never been so excited for a World Cup in my life. I cannot wait for it.
Yeah, it's got to be. I reckon it's going to be a pretty competitive tournament. Actually, I mean, there's quite a number of teams. Like you got your Fijis, your Tongas, you got your usuals, Australia, New Zealand. You know, and they anyone could win it. I mean, people might say no, it's only between those teams like Australia and New Zealand, but I think anyone on their day can compete and win the World Cup.
Mate, I can't wait. You've got Australia, who are obviously the odds-on favourites. You've got a couple of great contenders there. Obviously, New Zealand and England, great contenders. You got Tonga, Samoa, who are going to go very close to winning the World Cup. Fiji are going to be very competitive. They might even go to the semi-finals. I did make the semi-finals back in 2017, I believe, when they had Jared Hayne in the halves. I'll tell you who the dark horse is. I think France are in for a really good World Cup as well. No one's talking about France. They're going to be pretty good, I reckon. But before we get into tonight's discussion about the Australia Kangaroos squad for the World Cup, I want to say hello to everybody in the live chat. The chat's looking healthy, so it's good to see. Hello to the Final Siren podcast. Hello to Luke Melbourne Storm fan. Electrical Dust is here. Let's go Bulldogs. SS Storm fans here. We've got Bosky in the chat. We've got CJ Moxley. I can't wait. We've got Samuza. I can't even pronounce your name, bro. I hope I got that right. He's here as well. This is going to be fantastic. Cutting Game Space Station is here as well. All right, Fanatics, what we're going to do first, mate, I'm going to go through each player in the squad for all the Kangaroos. So just so everybody understands who's in what, who's playing for who Australia, who's in their actual squad. These are the players playing for Australia in the 2022 World Cup. So we've got Josh Adokar, Matt Burton, Regan Campbell-Gillard, Patrick Carrigan, Daly Cherry-Evans, Nathan Cleary, Lindsay Collins, Reuben Cotter, Angus Crichton, Tino Fasua-Malawi, Campbell Graham, Harry Grant, Valentine Holmes, Ben Hunt, Liam Martin, Latrell Mitchell, Cameron Munster, Cameron Murray, Jeremiah Nanai, Murray Talangi, Jake Chaboyevich, Jack Whiten, Isaiah Yeo, and the captain, James Tedesco. And obviously the coach is Mal Meninga. Fanatics, do you think Australia deserve to be favourites? And what do you think about that squad from the Kangaroos?
Yeah, look, I reckon they definitely deserve to be favourites. I mean, look, I think if you look at the squad overall, I mean, there's a couple of players I probably would have had in there. I mean, I definitely would have had Dylan Edwards somewhere in that squad.
Yes. We will
And
get to that, bro. We're going to
yep,
get to the unlucky players really soon. But in total, bro, I reckon the Kangaroos team's a solid 8 out of 10. It's a solid 8 or 9 out of 10 squad, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, Australia's got plenty of depth. You know, they can choose from, from state, New South Wales to Queensland. You know, you got the NRL to choose from as well. So, yeah, Australia's depth is pretty good there.
Yeah, 100%, bro. All right.
Yep.
Well, I think it's a quality squad. I think the Kangaroos are obviously the favourites to win the World Cup, and deservedly so. They've got some of the best players in the world, and James Tedesco, Cameron Munster, Nathan Cleary, just to name a few. Valentine Holmes as well. So much quality in the Kangaroos squad. It's an incredible team, bro, and without a doubt, they will be the favourites for the World Cup as well. So, before we go through my best 1 to 17 for the Kangaroo squad, I want to talk about the players that are unlucky not to make the squad. And I'll tell you something, bro. There is a few that were unlucky. And I think we're going to start off with Dylan Edwards, bro. How does he not get even a mention in this squad? Dylan Edwards should be in this squad somewhere, even if he's not in the 1 to 17. He should be in the squad at least, bro.
Yeah, look, I don't understand it because Dylan Edwards has had a great season for the Penrith Panthers. He won Player of the Year for the club, and he also won the Clive Churchill Medal the other night in the grand final. So I think Dylan Edwards was very unfortunate not to make the squad, and I was a little bit surprised actually that he wasn't in there altogether because although Tedesco's spot's never under threat, Edwards should definitely be somewhere in that squad altogether, like just in the squad, even if he's not in the 1 to 17. Yeah, so I personally think make it.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Dylan Edwards is probably one of the most unlucky players not to make the squad for the Kangaroos. Another player that I want to mention that I think was a little bit hard done by as well, and I'm not sure if you think he's hard done by, but I can't believe Corey Oates is not in this squad either, bro. Corey Oates had an incredible year at the Broncos. Brings a lot of experience to the international game, especially for Australia. I feel Corey Oates should be in the squad somewhere, bro. I can't believe he's not picked. I can't believe it. What do you reckon? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Corey Oates, I thought Corey Oates probably had his. Yeah, I think he's probably had his best season this year.
Yep.
Like, I think last year it wasn't his best, but I think he got back. I think he got back to being his best again, and I think he was also unlucky not to, be nominated for at least the winger of the year in the Dally M's the other night. So I don't know whether I would have picked him in the Australian squad, but I think maybe you could probably give him a shout for at least getting in there somewhere. But yeah, but
Yeah, no, I'm with you, bro.
that's what I believe.
I just can't believe that Corey Oates is not even in the squad, bro. I don't get it. I thought he should have been there. I mean, obviously Campbell Graham got picked in the squad, which I don't have a problem with Campbell Graham being in the squad, but Campbell Graham over Corey Oates based off this year's form alone and experience, I don't know about that. Obviously, you got Jack White and Matt Burton and Val Holmes and Latrell Mitchell who can all play centre. you could even throw Angus Crichton and Cam Murray in the centres if you had to. I just feel Campbell Graham being selected in the squad over Corey Oates is quite unfair, and it's quite harsh. But that's just my opinion. All right, another player that I think was quite hard done by, mate, was the winner of the 2022 Dally M medal, Nicho Hynes. Nicho Hynes this year was out of this world. Halfback, Dally M Player of the Year, Halfback of the Year, not even mentioned in the squad for the Kangaroos. I am still surprised that he's not even here. How is Nicho Hynes not in the squad, Fanatics?
Yep.
You there, Fanatics? Oh, Jesus. I think the Dodo's got him. Fanatics. Great. I think the Dodo's got Fanatics here. Apologies about that. We'll try very hard and get Warriors and our Fanatics back on in just a sec. His internet connection has just cut him out, but I'm sure he'll be back in just a moment. Hopefully his connection improves. Hang on, I think he's back. Are you there, bro? Oh, boy. Oh, you there, bro? Your connection is oh, fuck. Oh, that did it. That did it. Fanatics has just cut out, and I'm sure he'll be back, but very unfortunate there. Now, look, the reason why I have a problem with Nicho Hynes not being picked for the Kangaroos, a couple of reasons. One, he's the halfback of the year. Two, he won the 2022 NRL Dally M medal. Nicho Hynes had a better year than Nathan Cleary. I'm not saying he should be a halfback over Nathan Cleary, but what I'm saying is Nicho Hynes should be at least in the squad. Now, you've got Cherry Evans and Cleary as the halfbacks. And then you've got unbelievable. I don't understand it, bro. You've got Munster at 5'8". I can't believe Nicho Hynes is not in this squad. You're back, bro?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah.
That's all good, mate. Waff, internet has its problems.
Probably the internet, yep.
I just can't get over Nicho Hynes not being picked in the squad, bro. He's the Dally M medal, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I mean, I would have had him in there too. I mean, I know you got your Ben Hunts in that could play utility type role, but I think Nicholas Hynes is very unfortunate just to miss it, considering he was the best player in the comp this year, winning the Dally M medal. So leading out the Clive Churchill medalist and then leading out the Dally M Player of the Year was a bit of a shock. It was a bit of a surprise.
Honestly, bro, in my opinion, it's absolute laughable. It really is. It's laughable. It's fucking laughable. Now, the final player that I want to mention that did not get selected, where in the living fuck is Damien Cook? How is Damien Cook not in this squad? He's a New South Wales hooker. He's played for Australia plenty of times. What's he done wrong this year to not get selected? I get Ben Hunt had a great year. I get Harry Grant probably had the best year out of all the hookers that can play for Australia. How is Damien Cook not in the squad?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know because, like, on the on the website it said that he's I don't know. They
a standby player.
Yeah, standby player. They said he's a standby player, so I'm not too sure what they mean by that sort of term. I mean, if he's only a standby player, then that means he's not really going to be in the squad, is he? He's just a standby player.
I don't get it, bro.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
It's a bit odd.
Genuinely don't get it. It's ridiculous. Now, besides Dylan Edwards, Corey Oates, Nicho Hynes, and Damien Cook, is there anyone else that you can think off the top of your head that was unlucky not to make the Australian squad?
No, I think that's pretty much. I think the ones you've mentioned is pretty much it. I think in terms of plays.
I've got one.
Yep,
I've got one.
Yep.
You're not going to like this.
Oh,
I can't believe Matt Lodge wasn't even selected in the squad either. I would have picked him. For sure. I would have. I know you don't like him. I know he's played for your Warriors. I know you're not a fan of him. I understand. But Matt Lodge would have brought so much to the Kangaroos, man. I would have had him for sure.
yeah, but where would you play him? Like, who would you have him over in terms of that Australian squad right now?
I would pick Matt Lodge over Lindsay Collins.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. But the thing that shits me off about not having Matt Lodge in this fucking squad, again, it's favoritism, and they go back on the past. Oh, Matt Lodge can't be trusted, blah, blah, blah. It's the same as guys like Jack DeBellin and Paul Vaughan. They don't want to fucking pick these guys because of their little incidents I've had in the past. I know Matt Lodge's one was major, and it was much worse than what happened with Paul Vaughan and a few other players. But seriously, Matt Lodge is a different man. He's reborn. He's changed. He's a changed man. And he's rebuilt his life. And they didn't want to pick him because of favoritism, bro. I think Matt Lodge has been overlooked here because of his past. That's just what I reckon, anyway. What do you reckon?
Possibly, yeah, and that being that they probably don't think he's probably deserves to be in there ahead of those
what a
other
disgrace!
Players, so, yeah,
what a disgrace! I think it's fucking bullshit. I think it's bullshit. All right, I reckon that's all the players that's unlucky. So I'll go Dylan Edwards, Corey Oates, Nico Hines, Damien Cook, Matt Lodge. They're the 5 players that I reckon were unlucky. That's what I reckon anyway.
Yep.
All right. Now, I want to go to my best 1 to 17 for the Kangaroos. So I've had a good look at the squad that's been named by the coach, Man Meninga. I have gone through the squad and I have put together my best 1 to 17 for the Kangaroos for the Rugby League World Cup. Now, this is my team for the World Cup for Australia. The best 1 to 17 that I have come up with here. So I'm going to go through it. Fullback and captain, James Tedesco. On the wings, Valentine Holmes and Josh Adokar. In the centres, Matt Burton and Latrell Mitchell. 5'8", Cameron Munster. Halfback, the big one, I'm going Nathan Cleary at halfback. The front row, Jake Trbojevic and Ruben Cotter. The hooker is Harry Grant. The second row is Cameron Murray, Angus Crichton, and at lock, Isaiah Yeo. And on the interchange bench, I've gone with Ben Hunt, Tino Fasua Malawi, Regan Campbell-Gillard, and Jeremiah Nanai. Now, I just want to go to a couple of the reserves. My 18th man is Jack Whiten, and the 3 reserves is Murray Tuilagi, Patrick Carrigan, and Lindsay Collins. That is my team. What do you think about that, bro?
Yeah, I like it. I like your team that you named. I can't really argue with the selections. You've got a strong bench. You've got a strong starting 13. So, yeah, it's a very good team there.
I think the back line picks itself. Like, Tedesco's going to be fullback easily. Adokar will be on one wing. Val Holmes will probably get the other. And then, obviously, Latrell will play centre. But that other centre position's quite open. And I reckon Matt Burton's the man for the job, bro. Matt Burton and Adokar. I've got that combination at the Bulldogs. And I just feel like combinations in this sort of environment is going to be pretty important. So I'll be putting Burton and Adokar together. I think that combination would work out quite well. I think Munster picks himself. Now, do you pick Cleary? Do you pick DCE? I just think I would have went DCE about 3 weeks ago, but I just feel you got to go Nathan Cleary, bro. He won the premiership. He's full of confidence right now. I think Nathan Cleary and Munster can form a very, very destructive halves combination. I think that would work. But if it doesn't work, obviously you've got Cherry Evans there on standby. You could go with Munster and DCA if things don't work out for the Kangaroos. Now, the forward pack's another one that I want to talk about, bro. I think Jake Trbojevic starting in the front row with Ruben Cotter would be a great thing. Do you like that?
Yeah, look, I think, that those are the two best players that can pick from those positions in terms of, I think Jake Trbojevic is this year, I would say it's probably been a bit of a quiet year for Jake Trbojevic.
Okay.
But, yeah, that's just what I believe personally. I think he's had a bit of a quiet season at Manly this year. But, look, whether you pick him or not, I think, probably pick him in there somewhere. But, I don't disagree with the selections there.
Well, see, I just feel Jake Trbojevic, when he played Origin, he started and he killed it. And I feel like he's just going to defend and tackle all night. And you've got Cotter, who just rolls forward with his leg speed and his ruck speed. Cotter and you got Yo as a ball playing forward as well. So that whole front row and lock combination works out pretty well. And then you've got Cam Murray, who's the vice captain for Australia. He's obviously going to be probably on the right edge with next to Nathan Cleary. And then you've got Angus Crichton on the left edge there next to Cameron Munster. So another great combination there with Murray and Crichton in the back row. And you look at the bench, bro. You've got Ben Hunt. He'll come on after 25 minutes or so for Harry Grant, and he'll come on and his impact will be enormous, I reckon. So Ben Hunt coming off the bench after 25 minutes will be quite deadly, in my opinion. And then you've got when Cotter and Jake, after 25 minutes after they've gone out and killed it, Tino and Campbell Gillard off the bench, they're going to smash people with impact. Campbell Gillard and Tino to go off the bench, that is frightening, bro. That's scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a strong 4-pack to bring off the bench. You got Tino there and that, and yeah, they'll bring that impact for sure.
And obviously, I've got Jeremiah Nanai on the bench now. I think what will happen is, I don't think Yo will play the full 80. I think Murray might go into the lock position with Yo getting a rest, and they might put Jeremiah Nanai in the back row, unless Crichton plays a little while, and then it goes off, and Jeremiah Nanai comes on the field. I think Jeremiah Nanai will get into 17. I think he's the rookie of the year, and there's no better time to blood at the rookie of the year in the Kangaroos team than now. So you got to put him in there somewhere. I think Nanai would work well. Do you reckon he's ready for this level, Jeremiah Nanai from the Cows?
Oh, 100%. I reckon he isn't ready. Why not throw him in there and give him a few games and see how he goes? And yeah, coming off the bench, I mean, I reckon that's a good way to, get him customized to international rugby league. So, yeah, I mean, why not give him a crack and see how he goes?
And then 18th man, mate. I reckon Jack Whiten's probably the perfect 18th man. What do you reckon about that?
Yeah, he'd be good for when there's injuries with
HIAs and stuff.
Yeah, HIAs and that. We know HIAs, that they're easy to get in the rugby league world now. So yeah, Jack Whiten definitely can cover for players, particularly in the halves.
He's a very good player too. Like he's very handy to have. A very handy player to have. And the outside backup, gone with is Murray Tulangi. I don't think Tulangi makes the starting side, but I think he definitely makes the reserves anyway. So if there's an injury or something, Murray Tulangi might come in.
Yep.
And obviously the two forwards I've got in the reserves, Paddy Carrigan and Lindsay Collins. A few people would say, how come Carrigan's not in your team? We'll say, here's my reason. The reasoning behind not having Carrigan in 17, you've already got so many ball-playing forwards as it is. I mean, if you've got Jake and Cotter and Yo, you don't need any more ball-playing forwards. You need some actual props to go out there and defend. And Ruben Cotter's had a better year than Paddy Carrigan, so obviously you pick Cotter. And Jake Trbojevic, you pick him for experience in these sort of games over someone like Paddy Carrigan. Yeah, I know Carrigan got the Origin Player of the Series, but you can't have too many ball-playing forwards in here because it just ruins the balance of the team. So I think Carrigan misses out but he's in the reserves.
Yeah, I probably would have had him on the bench somewhere, but that'll be me.
Yeah, and I've got Lindsay Collins as the other forward for backup. Like I said, Australia's already got so many ball-playing forwards, and they've really got players who can play in the back row as it is. So I think another prop to the reserves probably just makes a bit of sense with Lindsay Collins, right?
Yeah, I like it. I really do. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's my best 1 to 17. That's what I would do if I was the head coach of Australia. Now let's get to the final part of the video, mate. Players to watch for Australia in the World Cup, mate. So obviously,
Yep.
we've seen the squads. Fanatics, mate, I want you to give me 2 players to watch out for Australia in the World Cup. Who's gonna absolutely kill it from nowhere? Who do you reckon?
So, players to watch. Look, I probably will go with Nathan Cleary. I know that might be a pretty boring answer, but I'll go Nathan Cleary there, mainly because it's going to be his first time putting on the
World
Australian
Cup.
jersey, and it's a World Cup,
Yep.
and he wants to deliver on the big stage, which I'm sure there's been quite a few people that have questioned his big game sort of performances, but Nathan Cleary for me, and another player, I'm going to go with Murray Taulagi.
Really?
Taulagi. Yeah. Actually, no,
Wow.
swap that around. I'm going to go Jeremiah Nanai, actually. Jeremiah Nanai.
The Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Jeremiah Nanai.
Okay.
Yeah, I think him coming into the Australian environment, and I think there's less pressure on them as well, so I think he's a player that to watch out for Australia in terms of young players making their debuts and that.
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%. For me, I think a player to watch for Australia in the World Cup, I'll tell you what, Matt Burton. Watch out for Matt Burton, bro. I'm telling you, Matt Burton is going to absolutely kill it in this. I think he's going to dominate. Now, my only concern is over in England, some of the fields that they're going to be playing on are a bit smaller compared to NRL. So some of the fields are going to be fucking intriguing. So Matt Burton's bombs might not be as effective as it's been over here in Australia. So he's got to be careful. So, but I'll tell you what, I reckon Matt Burton is going to be a player to watch for Australia. I think he's going to kill it in the World Cup. I reckon he'll start in the centres as well. I reckon he'll kill it. And the other player that I think is someone to watch out for in the World Cup as well, I think Reuben Cotter is a player to watch for, mate. If Reuben Cotter has a big World Cup, which I think he will, he might be a certain starter for Australia for years to come. Reuben Cotter is a player to watch out for, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I've been a big fan of Reuben Cotter's season this year in the NRL, and he's definitely had a big year for the Cowboys also. So yeah, Reuben Cotter definitely up for sure.
Matt Burton and Reuben Cotter are the future of the Kangaroos. I reckon they're both going to be in the squad for the next 10 years. They are terrifying. They are going to kill it in the World Cup. I can't wait to see it. They're going to kill it. Cannot wait. There's one player that we forgot to talk about, bro, that wasn't even picked in the squad. A player that was a bit unlucky that we didn't really talk about, bro, was Hudson Young from Canberra. I'm a little bit surprised that he wasn't selected either.
Yeah, Hudson Young is a player which, at the start of the year probably wouldn't have thought that would be a player talked about as a contention for the Australian Kangaroos squad. So he's eligible for sure, and yeah, a little bit surprised actually by him not being selected for the Australian squad for the World Cup, because he's had a very good season for the Canberra Raiders and he had a good back end of the season also. So yeah, a little bit surprised by that actually.
Yeah. Overall, mate, I think the Kangaroos have got a very good squad, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they go in the World Cup. I'm going to be doing another reaction to the squads, to England and New Zealand, Tonga, Samoa, and all that through the week. So I'm just going to put all them together. the Pacific Nations. I'm going to put them all together and do a live stream reaction to that. There's some of the players in other squads that I don't really know much about. Like I don't know much about the Jamaican squad. I don't know a whole lot about them. So like obviously we'll get to them and Cook Islands and whatever. There's a couple of them I may know of, but we'll get to them ones probably in a couple of days from now or whatever. But Warriors and NRL Fanatics, thanks for coming on to tonight's live stream, bro. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, no worries, Nick. Thanks for having me on. Thanks to the viewers for watching. And yeah, very good Australian squad. And no doubt they will be one of the favourites for the World Cup.
No doubt about it, bro. Well, mate, thanks for tuning in tonight. Thanks to everyone that tuned in on the live chat. Thank you all for watching. I'm getting on out of here. See you guys tomorrow night for another stream. The podcast will be happening this week. I'm not sure what day yet. Just got to work that out with Pro Enzo vids and all that chat, but behind the scenes. And I'll let you guys know when we're doing the podcast this week. But anyway, hope you all have a great night. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you guys in the next one.